Hey everybody, it's Ben here. Today we're gonna check out this mini electric chainsaw. We'll start with seeing what's in the box, take it out for a few test cuts, and then decide if it's something that you might wanna have in your toolbox. So let's start off just by looking at the box. This is a Nasum brand name. It's 20 volt using a lithium battery, and it's brushless. If we look on the side of the box here, we can see that it's rated at 450 watts, which is more than half a horsepower. So let's open it up, actually see what's in here. Okay, right away we have an instruction manual. We've got a battery charger, a battery. This one is listed as 20 volt, 60 watt hour. It's a 3 amp hour battery. We've got our 6-inch chainsaw blade. Looks like a guard for the top of the blade. Spring and a screw, I think that's for the guard. This little tiny little 6-inch chainsaw bar. Comes with a screwdriver. That's kind of nice. You don't even need any extra tools here. And then we've got the actual chainsaw itself, and overall very much kind of the look and feel of something like a cordless drill. Very similar to that. Battery on the bottom, motor on the top. You've got a pull trigger. Looks like we've got a nice big knuckle guard here. I like that. And then we've got a thumb safety so that we cannot pull the trigger unless that is down. And it'll work if you're left-handed too. It's just that the trigger has to go the other direction. So if you're right-handed, you push down with your thumb, pull the trigger. If you're left-handed, you gotta push up, pull the trigger. Of course, you can release that after you do. Up here, looks like this is how we get at mounting the bar, and we've got our chain tensioner right here. I like being able to pull the cover off without needing a tool. And underneath here, I can see that the drive for the chain is all metal. I definitely like that. Here we've got the tensioner, a little tiny hole with a gasket is for our oiler. I'm not sure if that's automatic or manual. I don't see anywhere like a button to press for manual oiling, so I think that's automatic. But probably the smart thing to do is actually read the manual. The other thing is that, batteries are never fully charged when you get them. So what I'm going to do is take the battery, go put it on charge, actually read the instruction manual, and then I'll be back. We'll put the bar on here, put our charged battery on, take it out, do some test cuts. So now we have our fully charged battery. That's got a very bright green, you're charged up indicator on it. And if we actually look on the bottom here, it says that our output is 21 volts, 1.5 amps. This is 1.5 amps. This is 3 amp hours, so that's a 2-hour recharge time with this battery and this charger. Let's go check out the chainsaw now. Well, we've now got our charged up battery, and I've read through the instruction manual. Frankly, most of it is just about installing the blade onto the chainsaw. It does in fact have a fully automatic oiler, and operation is just like you think, like using cordless drill. You just flip the safety, pull the trigger. I think what I'm going to do is fumble my way through installing the bar, just because I'm never that good at that sort of thing. We'll film it, maybe fast forward or something. Let you know if it's easy or not, and then we'll go with some test cuts. So the first thing I had to do was install the spring, then the chain guard, and that's just held in place by a single Phillips screw. After that, it's a matter of putting the bar on. That just hooks onto the little peg for the tensioner, and then the chain wrapping that around the bar and the drive. Then this cover goes over the top. It's just hooked on the one end and then screws down, and it's kind of nice. It doesn't even require a tool here. And of course, even though it's electric, chainsaws still require lubricating oil. So on the side here, we got the spot to add our bar and chain oil. Blade stops very quickly. This area up here gives you a good spot to hold it with a secondary hand. I do like that there's a guard across the top of the blade here. There's a nice knuckle guard down here. Okay, let's try this off on a 2x4. Cuts like a 2x4. Okay, so now why don't we take this outside and test it on some actual trees and branches and things like that. I've got a cedar tree over here that has a bunch of lower branches I want to clear out, so I'll try cutting some of those back. So far, I will say I like that it's one-handed, very compact. It's nice to get in places like under close to the trunk of the cedar tree. I did not do this entire pile on this one battery, but most of this pile. So it kind of adds up quick when you're doing things like trimming branches. And that's probably about the largest I'd typically be doing for just trimming work. Let's just take a look at a big hunk of firewood, what we could do. I mean, I can totally get blade deep on that, no problem. It's just a little blade, you know? It's just not designed for doing huge stuff. It also does look like there's almost like a kind of a 2-speed sort of a thing where when the going gets rough, it kicks up into a higher speed. So, I mean, certainly is capable. I stopped over at my parents' property to trim some wood out back. But the other thing kind of interesting here is that this battery, it's very generic, but looking at that shape, I went, really looks familiar. And what I found is that it matches up with Makita style batteries. My dad's got a bunch of Makita 18-volt tools, and if we look at both of these, we will find that they are in fact the same form factor. This is a 5 amp hour battery, nice high capacity battery. Likewise, this is another Makita style battery, but a knockoff brand name. But it's a 6 amp hour high capacity battery. So this would be a great battery that we can just put on here and continue doing some yard work with our mini chainsaw. Right here you can see there's an apple tree that it's leaning way over. There's some issues with the tree line. My mother wants this tree to come down. So let's just try it with the mini chainsaw here. I also wanted to try something different that was sort of obviously a little bigger than what this saw is designed for. This is hardwood, about 8 inches in diameter, plus that extra lump out the side. Now, of course, we only have a 6-inch bar on this saw, and you can see the chips are really flying. This is regular speed. This isn't sped up or anything right here. It's cutting very, very well. It's just the blade is only so long. You know, it can only reach not all the way through. It's just too short. It cuts. Clearly that is not what this saw is intended for, but it'll do it. So what do I think of this chainsaw now that I've had a chance to use it? Frankly, the more I used it, the more I liked it. You know, it's simple, effective, lightweight. Like any electric chainsaw, you don't have to mess around with pull start, mixing gas and oil, the smoke, noise, vibration, any of that sort of thing. Now, are you going to use it to take down an oak tree? No. There's more appropriate tools for that. But if you're kind of the typical homeowner who needs to take down some tree branches, clean up brush, things like that, it's absolutely fantastic. The other thing that I found was that for me personally, it was really nice that it was lightweight and I could use it one or two-handed. For anybody who has any kind of a physical disability, having something smaller, lighter, shorter bar length, easier to use like this is really advantageous. Now, the other thing I always recommend to people is don't buy an electric tool, buy a battery system. And the fact that this is 100% compatible with an existing name brand battery system, I think is a really big deal. You might already have some Makita tools and batteries that'll work just great with this. Otherwise, at least know that it's not like an oddball battery that you'll never be able to find a second one of. Pretty much any of your major big box home improvement stores are going to have batteries that are going to be compatible with this. So overall, yeah, you might find this to be a tool that is completely appropriate for your toolbox. I hope you like these videos. Please like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to check out the video description for links and additional information. We're also on Patreon and would love to have your support there as well. And until next time, stay charged up